You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
It's Monday. The draft is round the corner, which can only mean one thing. Mock draft Mondays, mock Mondays, whatever you want to call it. We are on version 2.0 over here on Go Time Dolphins. There's no point in wasting any time. As always, I'm joined by Mr. Charlie Touche. Charlie, tell everyone what time it is.
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. Got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you could be a fanatic of your favorite franchise. Kadeem, I think you missed the opportunity. You said we're not going to waste any time. And I think you had a chance to say, we ain't going to waste no time. I ain't wasting no time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you missed out on that.
Agreed. I definitely did. FA says it's go time. Cap says lay it on the line when it's go time.
See?
And Cap, yeah.
You know what that was, Kadeem? That was the internet telling you Tua missed a wide open bomb, but the first read was open. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went to my first read, it was open. You know what I'm saying?
And that's true because Tua is a one-read quarterback, so he wouldn't have time to see the second or third read because he's a one-read quarterback. So, yeah, it is what it is. So, Charlie, we done something different with the draft this week. Do you want to tell everyone what it is as I get the screen ready?
We didn't necessarily not do anything different, but it is Mock Draft Monday. And before we do get into it, I almost every week we get on the podcast and I'm like, Tyreek's not going to be a Dolphin this year. I just don't see it. And it'll be more beneficial if he is moved post June 1st. But every season, there's like this astronomical dead cap that some team is eating because there's a discrepancy in the building. Like, the Bills ate $31 million of dead cap when it came to Diggs. I think Atlanta ate $45 million of dead cap when it came to Matt Ryan. It's just astronomical numbers. And everyone's, this will never happen. They'll never eat that dead cap. And for everyone who thinks Chris Grier is not a dude, this contract restructure that Tyreek Hill had this previous season, when he was like, I need some more money. And I was like, nah, let's not pay him. But, we still paid him just like we did Howard. The way Chris Grier structured the contract is very beneficial for the Dolphins if we were going to trade him this season, which is crazy to me because no one's seen a trade of Tyreek Hill coming. So shout out to Chris Grier having the foresight of, just in case we move this piece, let's structure this contract in a way where we don't kill ourselves if we have to move him. Turns out we're going to have, I believe we're going to move him. And again, post June 1st is better than prior to June 1st. But this is where, Kadeem, and I want to break this down before we get into this mock. This is where, if Tyreek Hill is traded in the draft, remember what Stephon Diggs got? And I was like, Stephon Diggs got a 2 and a 3 or something like that, 2 and a 4.
That's about right, yeah.
Something like that, right? And I was telling everybody, sure, I still was like, nah, bro, we're not going out about no 2 or 3, even though Tyreek Hill's a 30-year-old receiver getting $28 million a year. Someone's going to have to pay for this. And this is why we could charge someone a first-round pick for Tyreek Hill, because we're going to have to eat $28 million of dead cap if we trade Tyreek Hill prior to June 1st. So if we're going to eat this dead cap, we have to tell the team, hey, you guys are gonna have to pay for it. We're gonna have to overpay for Tyreek Hill in trade compensation so we can have the flux in the trade compensation as opposed to being hamstrung in the cap situation. So when you see friend of the podcast, Austin Jackson, restructure, and we went from negative $11 million, I think, to $8 million over the cap or under the cap, and then now 11, and then now I think we're 17 as it stands today. $17 million under the cap. Is that accurate, Kadeem?
I have no idea because last time I saw,
I think we
it
are
was like
cap
7.9. Like last time I saw, we had 7.9 million cap space. But the way this thing moves, no one really knows at the moment.
Cool. All I'm saying is, let me arrive here. If you see the Dolphins get to anywhere near the $20 million worth of cap space, you only need $4 to $10 million to sign your draft class. $4 to $10 million to sign your draft class. If you see us creeping up in the 20s, I think that means Tyreek Hill's getting traded during the draft. So just be aware of that. In real life, if you see the Dolphins are keep making space, especially if Tua gets restructured, Tyreek's gone. That is the telltale sign right there. So what we did before this mock draft was we made a trade ourselves. I believe Tyreek Hill is getting traded, and me and Kadeem sat down in the front office and said, you know what, let's call the Chargers, and we got a first-round pick, a fourth-round pick, and a next year's third-round pick from the Chargers for Tyreek Hill. So the Dolphins will have the 13th pick overall and the 22nd pick overall. What was that look, Kadeem?
We need to redo the trade
Because
so you said the Dolphins have 13 and 22, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at the moment the Chargers have pick 13.
Oh yeah, I told you to take that off. We wasn't trading the first.
So
we'll set it back up.
Yeah.
You sure? You sure?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, while Kadeem's doing that, I'll talk you through the trade again. So the Miami Dolphins and Go Time Dolphins front office have traded Tyreek Hill to the Los Angeles Chargers for the Chargers first, the Chargers fourth, and next year's third. And we gave them Tyreek Hill and this year's 7th round pick. Would you be happy with that? Matter of fact, in the comments, would you guys be happy with that? Is that enough for Tyreek Hill? Could we have gotten more? Do you think we should keep him on the team, let him just be disgruntled, and have him play out the contract? What do you think we should do? In the comments, let us know. What you got, Kadeem? Where you at? You need help?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it so
it'll be our 7th this year. Go to next year's first for us. Just for the computer's sake, and we'll use next year's first as Tyreek Hill in this case, and then you'll take their 22nd overall, their 4th, and their next year's 3rd. See what that does. Because there you go. That's why I was wondering why I didn't go through when I set it up before the podcast started. So we good?
Yeah, we have pick 13 and pick 22.
All right, so let us know in the comments. We traded Tyreek Hill. Could we have gotten more? Do you want to trade him? Do you not want to trade him? Go Time Dolphins have arrived at trading Tyreek Hill, and we traded him to the Chargers. You good, Kadeem?
Yep, just trying to get the best looking. There's this annoying advert on the left, which makes it ugly, but nothing I can do about that. So
I got a question for you, Kadeem, before we start this draft. Where are you at with trading Tyreek Hill, keeping Tyreek Hill? What do you think we should do? In real life.
In real life.
Hey, are you one of those people, Kadeem, that talk in text? IRL? You know how people say that? Like or WTF, IRL, LOL. That like it's weird how they do it, ain't it?
Yeah. That's not maybe I'm too old for that. Shout out to my sister. She turns 18 today. It's mad I've got an 18-year-old sister. Just absolutely insane. Shout out Simone. What would I I have no issue with trading Tyreek Hill. With me, it's what are we getting back in return? And if you give us pick 13, to me that allows us
We
to
have pick
trade.
13, Kadeem. That's
So,
our
so
pick.
pick 22. Um, I still be inclined to move back from pick 13 to try and get an extra day two, whatever it is. But having at the very least 2 first-round picks in this kind of draft gives you a bit more flexibility. Maybe you can go Michael Johnson at pick 13 and then O-line at 22, Gray Zabel or something. So yeah, if someone wants to send us a first for Tyreek Hill, amazing. I read an article earlier. And this article had the Dolphins trading up in the draft, trading up to pick 3 and giving the Giants Tyreek Hill. But then we pick 3, the Dolphins took Travis Hunter. And I was like, don't do that. That's just stupid. Why would you do that for? So yeah, Tyreek Hill, if you give us a first, thank you very much. It's great. Yeah, we'll see what happens come the next we're a month away to the next 30 days, I guess.
I seriously doubt the Dolphins get a top 10 pick for Tyreek. We just said,
Of course, yeah.
What the compensation should be, but when you add cap implications, you can kind of talk your way into, hey, I need a first because of the cap implications. But I doubt it's going to be a sexy first round pick. Yeah, man. So now we got to compensate for Tyreek Hill. We don't have Tyreek Hill, and what our receiving core will look like as of this trade, Kadeem, is Jaylen Waddle, Touche's 24, Malik Washington, Nick Westbrook-Akine, and Touche's 24, Dwayne Eskridge. You also have Taj Washington too. So it's not looking that healthy of a receiving core right now without Tyreek Hill. And that's why I said, bro, if we move forward this year without Tyreek Hill, like a post June 1st trade, it's going to be tough for the Miami Dolphins. I can't see us being successful trying to get 2026 compensation for a receiver that would have helped us this season. So if the Dolphins aren't drafting a receiver this year, look out for a turbulent season coming up, and that would mean the front office will be on their way out, if you ask me.
Yeah, there's so much to get through. Make sure you take care over on Go Time Dolphins to see how it all plays out, our thoughts and reactions to it. And if you're feeling generous, head on over to Patreon/Go Time Dolphins, where we break down not only our mock drafts, but extra news, extra content, including I will save that for a later date. Charlie, I am ready when you are. And if you are new here and you haven't seen us use this mock draft simulator, NFL mock draft simulator, once we click start, it's gonna fly by pretty quickly. Even though it's on slow, you're gonna miss a few names. So I am ready when you are to see who we pick at pick 13. You ready?
Mock draft 2.0 with trades. Let's get it.
So I am clicking start now. Oh, that's actually a lot slower. Cam Ward, Saunders, oh God, sorry. So I'm looking at it. If you're not watching on YouTube, I highly advise you do. Simply because it's a lot easier for us to navigate and discuss this. Charlie, pick 13. We have 4 trade offers, and we are trading this week. So the first trade offer is for pick 13. The Panthers are giving us a first next year, third next year, the fourth next year, and this year a second round pick, pick 57, a 5th round pick, and a 7th round pick. Yes or no to the Panthers?
Because we're sitting at 13 and we have 22, but we traded Tyreek Hill away, I don't mind trading back to getting more picks to try to basically add as many pieces as we can, because it's going to be a tough road when no one's playing over the top no more. I don't think this is it for us, because you're taking yourself out of the first round, almost the first 2 rounds if you take the second round pick at 57, but you do get future picks in the first round and the third round and the fourth round of 26. I just don't think Chris Gray will be around to use those picks. So we're not going to reject, but let's see what else we got.
The next pick is Washington offering us a 6th rounder, a first rounder next year, and a third rounder next year.
Not happening. We could just keep going.
The Cardinals are offering pick 16, so moving back 3 spots, a third round pick in pick 78, and then a future first, fourth, and fifth round pick.
I think we got a deal, but let's see what else is on the table.
The final offer is the Vikings offering us a first, third, and seventh next year. Nothing this year for pick 13.
So if we go back to the Cardinals, we can sit here. We could take Will Johnson, the corner from Minnesota. We could take Tyler Warren, the tight end that everyone on the internet wants. He's going to be the third generation of tight ends that have come out in the 3 consecutive drafts, from Laporta to what's my dog name? Bowers, and now Tyler Warren. So if you look at our tight end core, Kadeem, we are not it. We have Jonnu Smith. He was the offensive player of the year for the Go Time Dolphins awards, but that's not enough. And it would be nice if we could take Tyler Warren here, because we're going to need as many offensive weapons we can have since we traded Tyreek Hill. But I like the idea of trading back 3 spots, still potentially getting two of the 3 I just mentioned, adding a third round this year, a first round next year, a fourth and a fifth next year. What say you, Kadeem?
Yeah, this to me seems like the best case scenario. You move back 3 spots, pick up another pick in the first or in the top 100. So you basically have pick 16, pick 22, your second round pick, and then 2/3. To me, this is a no-brainer.
I think it'll be 3/3 total, because we have a compensation pick.
Yes.
So
even better. And if Johnson does go, you'd be annoyed given the drop at corner. Although Dolphins Twitter seems to be picking, is it Barron, the corner?
Jade Barron.
Yeah, he seems to be like moving up Dolphins Twitter, and everyone's like, hey, forget Johnson, this should be the corner we take at pick 13 or move back and take. So yeah.
Here's the thing about Dolphins Twitter, bro. They wanted us to take Jahan Dotson, which is cool. I like Jahan Dotson. When he blew up on the internet a couple years ago, he got traded from Washington, ended up in Philly, Super Bowl champion, by the way. But he doesn't do anything now. He's nice though. He's super good. This year they wanted us to take, who was it? Booker, the guard from Alabama. Isn't it Booker? Right. Yeah. So we're projected to take Booker, if you listen to Dolphins Nation on Twitter. And Mel Kiper doesn't even have Booker as projected as a first round pick anymore. I am not fond of taking a guard at 13 overall. I don't like it. And now you said they want us to take Jade. Who is it? Jade Barron. So he's probably a nickel corner. We have Kader Kohu. So that means you would be asking Jade to play on the edge, on the outside, on the island, or you're going to ask Kader to play on the island. Jade can play on the island. He's good out there, but I don't know if you want him playing out of position and taking him 13th overall to teach him how to do something different in the NFL. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. I say we take this trade right here, move back 3 spots.
So do I. So we are accepting the Cardinals offer and picking up pick 16 and 78 in this year's draft. The Cardinals took Grant. Will Johnson went at pick 14, and pick 15 was Jihad Campbell. We have more trades. So we're on the clock at pick 16. The Colts are offering us pick 117 in the 4th, and then a first, second, and 5th next year. Just feel free to ignore.
Yeah, let's go to the next one, see what we got.
The next one is the Broncos offering us pick 20, pick 191 in the 6th round, and then next year a 2nd, 4th, and 7th.
So we'll be moving back 4 spots that add a 6th round pick this year, but then we get a 2nd, a 4th, and a 7th of next year. Pretty intriguing. Let's keep seeing what we have.
And then the final offer is the Seahawks offering us pick 2, 2, 3, a 1st, 2nd, and 4th next year for pick 16 this year.
Not even a pick swap for the 1st round. Seahawks are on drugs. We're not doing it. So the Broncos one was the closest thing to, you know what? We can entertain this. If we move back 4 spots, we pick at 116 now. We move back 4 spots. We almost certainly miss out on Tyler Warren. He's right there, right? Is he not?
Yep,
Kadeem?
he's still there. Yeah.
Tyler Warren is right there ready for the taking. We need offensive weapons because we lost Tyreek Hill. We traded him to the Chargers. If you're just catching up, excuse me. But I don't mind having future compensation. Like you got a 2nd round pick next year, a 4th round pick next year, and then the 6th round this year. I don't think it's enough, Kadeem. And I think we should take Tyler Warren right here.
So yeah, I think if the Broncos are offering us another pick in the top 100,
yeah,
I'd be inclined to take it. But moving back 4 spots to give us a 6th rounder, the 2nd next year is great, but that's next year. And yeah, you lose out on Tyler Warren. I think moving back and get him at 16, the value is still there, in my opinion. Like I said, you missed out on Johnson, you missed out on Campbell. Campbell we wouldn't have taken anyway due to the injury history. Check out our last episode where we spoke about that. But for me, yeah,
Campbell, that was Johnson, Will Johnson.
What do you mean?
Jade Campbell, Jihad Campbell is who you're talking about. I thought you were talking about the other Campbell, the lineman.
No. Sorry. No.
Yeah,
talking about Jihad Campbell, who to be fair, just went to the Falcons at pick 15.
Yeah.
But yeah, we weren't taking him anyway, so it's what it is. So yeah, I'm happy to reject this and take Tyler Warren at pick 16.
And yeah, let's take Tyler Warren right here. So while we take Tyler Warren, let's keep in mind, if Tyler Warren gets hurt, we still have Jonnu Smith. If Jonnu Smith gets hurt, we still have Tyler Warren. So now our offense looks like, you could go ahead and take him, Kadeem. We'll have Tyler Warren, Jonnu Smith, Waddle, Westbrook-Ikhine, and Malik Washington. Obviously, we missed Tyreek Hill for sure. We're clearly. There is something you can still do in free agency, although it's unlikely, and you probably won't have the cap to do it. But Stephon Diggs is still out there. He's still shopping around, going around the different teams, trying to figure out where he wants to play. I think he just visited the Patriots. He visited somewhere else too. I forgot where. But, we will be fine without Tyreek Hill. We arrived at pick 22, which we got from the Chargers. And here are our options. Shamar Stewart, Kevin Banks, Michael Williams, Jade Barron, Matthew Golden, Malachi Starks, James Pierce Jr., who is my 2nd favorite edge rusher in the draft, Josh Simmons, and so on and so forth. We got some options at pick 22 overall, Kadeem. We did not get a trade offer here. How are you feeling? How are you feeling right now, knowing that we don't have Tyreek Hill? We got Tyler Warren, though, and we got some good options on the board. Where do you want to go here?
So I'm trying my best to not mess up this draft, but at pick 19, the Bucks took Nick Emmanuel, apologies, who I would have loved to take at pick 22. You've replaced Javon Holland somewhat, or you've added to your safety room, which right now you have people there, but they're more just placeholders. I would have wanted to go offensive line at pick 22. I'm also looking at Malachi Starks. And I'm also looking at Matthew Golden, but my inclination is to go offensive line. Yes, there's going to be guys in the 2nd round, even the 3rd round, as we saw last week in mock draft 1.0. But my inclination would be to go offensive line here and kind of see how the draft falls in the 2nd round. How about you?
In real life, IRL, I would prefer the Miami Dolphins go Matthew Golden here. In real life, if this was an actual thing, we traded Tyreek Hill. We got the 22nd pick overall from the Chargers. I just don't trust the Dolphins to make the right picks, the right moves. I don't trust them to do it. So we took Tyler Warren, awesome. We could just really plug and play Matthew Golden, added Tyler Warren. Now our offense is like, yo, how much of a step back did we really take? Since we took Golden last week, we could pass on him this week. I say we also get O-line here. And let's scroll down a little bit and see who we got down there. You talking about who did you have in mind right here for O-line?
I don't mind Kelvin Banks. I don't mind Josh Simmons. I feel like even though he's ranked 34th on this mock draft board, I don't hate Gray Zabel here. So yeah, my inclination will be to go either Gray Zabel or Kelvin Banks if I'm going to go offensive line. And also just to apologize for me not reading comments. So the way my screen is at the moment, my screen is on the mock draft, so I can't see comments as they come. So I apologize for that. But yeah, my inclination will be to go Gray Zabel at pick 22.
Tim Curl said, yeah, I like that trade. That third rounder could get you a starting guard or D tackle. And Cat for Life said we should counter. We won't be countering right now. The mock draft simulator is a bit finicky, so we're trying to entertain the public, but at the same time get through this mock. So Josh Connolly Jr., Kelvin Banks, and there's one more. Josh Simmons. They're all left tackles. We have Patrick Paul at left tackle. Me and Kadeem subscribe to the don't let a good player prevent you from taking a great one. But I think with James Daniel at right guard, friend of the podcast, Austin Jackson at right tackle, Aaron Brewer at center, Liam Eichenberg is right now your starting left guard. True story. I don't know how many people like that. So, in my opinion, the Dolphins need a minimum of 2 linemen in this draft. So, Liam Eichenberg is at least 3 injuries away from seeing the field. I like Gray Zabel here because he can play all 5 positions, but he's probably going to be an interior lineman. So, he could be your backup center to Aaron Brewer. He could be your right guard. He could be your left guard. So, he's a draft now, start now player. And at the same time, in real life, IRL, he's not going to be there in the second round, in my opinion. So I told you guys last week, if there's any world where the Dolphins could take Gray Zabel in real life or Donovan Jackson, the left guard from Ohio State, be happy with that. And you can walk away from the draft with a smile on your face. And this is going to be the second time me and Kadeem have walked away with a player that we both feel really good about in Gray Zabel, if that's cool with you, Kadeem.
Yeah. Like I said, it's safety would be nice, but I just think even with how deep this offensive line class is, Gray Zabel, get him in, he's plug and play from day one, and you have helped out this not just the team but Tua and the offense greatly by going tight end at pick 16 and Gray Zabel at pick 22. So Gray Zabel, you are a Miami Dolphin. Anything else you want to add before I click drafts?
One of my favorite linemen in the draft, Gray Zabel. We got an A grade for taking Tyler Warren at 16. What's our grade for taking Gray Zabel at 22?
I'm going to go with a B. B plus. I'll take it. Can't.
I'll take it. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Like we. Did you see who just went to Buffalo?
It's probably Matthew Golden.
It was Matthew Golden.
Listen, bro. I mock it up nowadays. And if there's a world where Golden goes to the Chiefs, the Bills, or the Chargers, there's another team I think I'm not gonna like it. And what's funny is I don't mind it to the Bills because I don't believe in Josh Allen no more. I know he got this handed to me MVP, but he's not a passing quarterback that's gonna just eat you up and like, oh, look what Josh Allen is doing. Like, he's gonna run the ball, bro. I'm not afraid of Josh Allen. Yes, he's a winner. I'm not saying he's trash, but at the same time, he is not that quarterback that's gonna scare you to death because he's gonna pass on you all the time. He's gonna win games, but I'm not afraid even if Tyreek Hill goes to Buffalo, it's not like, oh man, what are we gonna do about this? Like, I don't believe in Josh Allen like that. What you got, Kadeem?
Yeah, I just find it really funny. That is where he went. We are
Hold
on
on,
the
let's
clock.
be clear. Keon Coleman went to the Bills last year too. Was that a first round pick or a second round pick? I think it was a second round pick. Touche 24, Keon Coleman.
Keon Coleman was a second round pick, 33rd. So top of the second.
So I'm not really afraid of Josh Allen like that.
Yeah.
Although he would have Keon Coleman and Matthew Golden, still probably won't be able to do nothing with him.
It'll be interesting to see. I can imagine, just because of your love for him, for Golden, that he ends up anywhere but Miami. We are on the clock again. Our first trade offer for pick 48 is the Eagles sending a second, third, and sixth round next year.
No, we're not doing that. We're not trading out of the draft completely for a second and a third and a sixth of next year. This is 48 overall.
Yep. The Ravens are sending for 48, pick 129, pick 183, and then a second and third rounder next year.
No, thank you. Not moving out that far.
The Bucks, it does. If you're not watching on YouTube, you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast for. The Bucks are sending us 4 picks, but all of them next year. No point in even entertaining that.
A second, third, and fourth, though, it was interesting, but just not. We need to win now.
Yeah. And then again, the Panthers are sending a second, fourth, and sixth next year for pick 48.
Not interested.
Not interested. So we are picking pick 48. The NFL mock draft database, the 5 players immediately on the big board is Nick Skelton, the edge from Texas A&M, Josh Connolly Jr., the tackle from Oregon. I'm going to butcher this name. Is it
Ariante Irsay? You don't have to butcher it.
But there we go. Tackle from Minnesota. Benjamin Morrison, cornerback from Notre Dame, and then Trayvon Henderson, the running back from Ohio State. There's a few other names: Tyreek Williams, Jack Sawyer, Xavier Watts, Carson Stringer. I'm always hard these days.
Shrine Singer.
Yeah,
Shrine Singer.
I got confused. There's a former Man United player called Bastian Schweinsteiger, which is what I was going to say, but it's not. It's Schweinsteiger or something like that. There's options here. There's definitely options. Where I would say what position, but I feel like position doesn't matter. You go best player available. So what do you have in mind for pick 48, Charlie?
This is really good for the Miami Dolphins. You would hope in real life you can get this, because now you have left tackles galore. We don't absolutely need a left tackle. You got Xavier Watts, safety there. You got running backs. We don't need running back. You got an edge there. Tyreek Williams is there. Can you scroll down? Tyreek Williams, dope D tackle. Scroll down a little bit more. Let's see what we get.
That's it. That's what just let me scroll down to.
All right, that's cool. So, look, I'm going Tyreek Williams, D tackle. This would be like, I know we went JJ Pegues before, and we went Aeneas Peebles before, but we only went them because we couldn't get Tyreek Williams last time. You know what I'm saying? So Tyreek Williams is a day one starter as well. This is supposed to be one of the deepest drafts ever as far as D-line goes, and Tyreek Williams is arguably a first-round pick. So I'm taking Tyreek Williams. I'm happy about it. We would like to improve O-line. We don't absolutely need more left tackles. Yeah, we can start moving pieces around. I'm trying to answer all of our needs without mixing and matching and having people play their natural position. And right now, I feel real good about where this draft is going if we can land a Tyreek Williams.
Yeah, I did look at Josh Connolly Jr. Double dipping the chip at offensive line, but I do think in this situation, going Tyreek Williams at 47 or going defensive tackle, I know there is a lot of drama on social media that the Dolphins haven't addressed defensive tackle so far in free agency. going defensive line now would make somewhat of a difference. People are never happy regardless. And again, I still think there will be guys, at pick 78 or pick 98 who would be home run picks on offensive line if those guys are there. So I am all good with Tyreek Williams if you are. And you are, could you mention it?
Tyreek Williams, welcome to the Miami Dolphins. Hey, we're gonna call the players. I figured the last mock of the year, when it's like the week of the draft, that's when we should make our phone calls to the players.
Yeah, 100%. So Tyreek Williams is a Dolphin. He got an A grade. And then Josh Conley Jr. is off the board. Jaden Higgins is off the board as well. I'm going to just go through the big names as Detroit, Washington are picking, Buffalo. Andrew McCuba just went to Buffalo. Xavier Watts went to Philadelphia. Cam Scatterbo went to the Raiders. How are we looking? We are up in 15 picks or around in anyway.
Isaiah Bond went to the Cowboys, and Jonas Savanaia just went one pick in front of us to the New England Patriots.
So we are on the board again, pick 78. Our first of two trade offers is pick 78 for pick 229 and a second rounder next year from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yay or nay?
Negative. We're not moving out the third round. By the way, this is the pick that we got from the Chargers, 78 overall. We're not moving out the third round to the 7th just to get us next year's second. Sorry, Pittsburgh.
And then, Washington want us to move out of the draft entirely and move into next year's 2nd, 4th, 6th, and 7th rounder for pick 78.
Rule of thumb, once you leave like the 1st and 2nd round, or the 1st round, once you leave the 1st round and you get into future picks, the rule of thumb is if I trade away a 3rd round pick for a future pick, it has to be a 2nd of next year. So in essence, this is a really good trade if we took it on paper. It'll be 2nd, 4th, and 6th and 7th of next year for our 3rd round this year. But we're not going to do it. We got to win right now.
So let's reject those and see who was on the board. Marcus Mbo from Purdue, TJ Sanders from South Carolina, defensive lineman, Davion Porter, the corner from Iowa State, Harold Fannin Jr., the tight end from Bowling Green, Caleb Johnson, the running back from Iowa, and Jordan Burt, the edge from Oregon, are the 5 players that are immediately on the board. Other notable names is Deion Walker from Kentucky,
Jared Wilson, the best center in the draft that's not injured, and Emory Jones Jr., right tackle from LSU, Tez Johnson, slot receiver from Oregon, and Oladejo, edge from UCLA. Listen, bro, this is. I said it before, and now when you're mocking, shout out to Harold Fanning Jr. He has what they say character issues, but he's a really good tight end, one that we won't need because we just took Tyler Warren. But this is why this draft, and man, I cannot wait to see what happens, because there's going to be a lot of winners in the NFL, the teams, when it comes to this draft, when it comes to interior O-line and interior D-line. And right here for us, we got Marcus Bowe. The M is silent. Marcus Bowe from Purdue. He plays right tackle, but he's projected to be a guard. But he plays right tackle. I like it here. I don't have to do it here, but I think this is where I drew the line at safety. If everyone remember, I said, Makuba is where I draw the line. Like there's Nick Emanwari, there's Malachi Starks, there's Andrew Makuba, and there's Xavier Watts, and then there's Andrew Makuba. Those are the best 4 safeties, in my opinion, in the draft. I could actually throw Craig Woodson up there. I like Craig Woodson a lot. Touche 24. But there are other names where, and I have tiers, Kadeem, where I want this player on my team. I don't mind this player being on my team, and I don't want this player on my team. And there are like 4 safeties that I don't mind if the Dolphins ended up with. And they're nowhere near 2nd round picks or 1st round picks. They're like could be third, like mid-round, third to fifth to sixth round picks that I'm like, yo, this is very, very good quality depth here. But that's when you start rolling the dice and like, yo, I can see if they bust. You know what I'm saying? But they're really solid picks. And I feel like we miss on safety so far. Why not patch up this O-line again?
Yeah, I think Marcus Bowe playing right tackle, but also playing or being able to play guard. Listen, I get no pleasure when I say that the chances are friend of the podcast, Austin Jackson, is going to get hurt this year. His NFL career to date basically says it's probably going to happen. And you mentioned earlier about taking Gray Zabel or taking an interior offensive lineman and multiple to stop Liam Eichenberg, seeing the field. And just no offense to him, it just hasn't worked out the way.
No. It is offense to him because he's not good enough. There's nothing wrong with that, Kadeem. He's professional. He gets paid to play. Yo, you're just ranked like lower than a lot of linemen in the league. That's not a shot. It's just real. It is offense to him.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not better than Liam Eichenberg.
No.
I can say that. You're not better than Liam Eichenberg. Liam Eichenberg plays in the NFL. You get paid millions of dollars to do it. Shout out to you. We just can't afford you to start on the Miami Dolphins. There's nothing wrong with that.
And I think because of that, going Marcus Bowe right now, again, it pushes Liam Eichenberg further down the pecking order. And if he doesn't fall down the pecking order, it's because one of two things. One, the Dolphins see something that no one else does, or the guys you just brought in actually aren't good enough, which is a bigger issue. So, yeah, Marcus Bowe, he's the highest rated person on the draft board right now. I think it's a great pick here at pick 78. If you allow me,
my fault. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say if you allow me to press drafts on Marcus Bowe. So,
yeah, we're going to take Marcus Bowe here. This is going to be an A grade. Not only that, he can potentially. Well, I know people say James Daniels is starting, and I don't love that. Like, he can start at right guard or right tackle. Or if you want to start him at right tackle and move Austin Jackson inside the guard, just because we paid James Daniel $8 million doesn't mean we have to start this man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that notion of that because he is coming off an Achilles. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this shores up the O-line for real. It was a B+ for those who are listening.
Which is absolutely insane.
So
I thought it would be an A.
2 A grades and 2 B+ so far.
Can't hate it. You can't hate it at all. We are back on the board in 5 picks. On the board. Going to quickly run through these trade offers. The Cardinals offering pick 98 for 3 picks in the 2026 draft. The Chiefs are giving us 2 picks in the 2026 draft. The Browns offering pick 98 for pick 200, pick 216, both in the 6th round, a 3rd and a 4th rounder next year. And the Vikings offering 3 picks in next year's draft, 3, 4, and 6. So round 3, 4, and 6. Sorry. Are any of those trades of any interest to you?
No, thank you. Let's see what we got on the board.
So, the first 5 names. I will go first 5 names. Dean Walker from Kentucky, defensive lineman. Joshua Farmer from Florida State, defensive lineman. Shemar Turner, defensive lineman, Texas A&M. Emory Jones Jr. from LSU and Josiah Stewart from Michigan.
But I don't know how I sit in the front office and see some of the options we have here and not know which one to pick. This is like every pick you make, you're adding to your football team now. And it's like, yo, you got to feel really good about where this is going. This is crazy. Scroll back up, Kadeem. This is super crazy. So Shemar Turner, he can miss, but if he hits, this is Shemar Turner to me is probably the biggest boom or bust pick in the draft. True story. He's either gonna win you your draft. And because of how he performs, and someone's going to say, how did you land Shemar Turner in the 3rd round? Or he's going to bust, and someone's going to say, y'all blew a pick in the 3rd round in real life. You know what I'm saying? Because he might go higher than that in the real draft. He might be a 2nd round pick. Emory Jones Jr. is a right tackle. Cool. We got Marcus Bow. We also have Gray Zabel at O-line. And there is a chance, Kadeem, that this is the draft where we didn't go as many O-lines. We didn't take as many O-linemen as I wanted in the last draft because there's so many opportunities to land something else. But this might be the one where we might actually get to do what I want to do, which is take like 4 O-linemen. Emory Jones would not be the pick here because I seen somebody when you scroll down, and Ozzie Trapilo from Boston College. Austin Trapilo is a right tackle, 6'8", 320 plus. He is in essence Patrick Paul, but a right tackle. Patrick Paul is a left tackle. I don't love 6'8" players playing guard, but Jonathan Ogden, Hall of Famer, was a guard at 6'8", and we just seen Mekhi Becton play guard at 6'8" and win a Super Bowl. So I don't love 6'8" players playing guard, but I cannot, for the life of me, see how I don't go Ozzie Trapilo here. But if you scroll up just a little bit, you have no, I thought I was someone else. Keep scrolling up. Yeah, you can just keep coming all the way. Josiah Stewart, he's an edge, and we have a conversation now. What do we do about friend of the podcast, Bradley Chubb, potentially not being a Miami Dolphin after the season, and then Jalen Phillips potentially not being a Miami Dolphin after the season? Do we draft a backup to them boys to go with Chop Robinson next year? Or do we draft a starting lineman who is probably going to be on the bench, but you add quality depth here? Or you could go D tackle because there's three D tackles like sitting right there in front of us. I don't love Deion Walker. I don't love Joshua Farmer. And I just told you Shamar Stewart Tuner is a hit or miss.
Just a comment. Kenneth Rankin says, what about a linebacker? So the highest ranked linebacker on the board right now is Demetrius Knight from South Carolina.
So there are 2 linebackers. According to my homework, I don't do it. I don't tee off of everyone else's homework. There are 2 linebackers that I believe should be on the board at 116. If they are not there, I have no desire to reach for them now when I know there are starting O-linemen on the board. This is one of those, dang, do you go depth on D-line, Kadeem? Or do you go, you just short up your O-line with starters? So now you for all those conversations when everyone said fix the O-line, fix the O-line, fix the O-line, are you just going to go a decent linebacker? Or are you going to go, this guy should start right now? But and we don't have to start him as far as O-line goes. It's just a preference thing. And right now, my preference would be to shore up the O-line and never have to talk about it ever again.
Just on the Josiah Stewart edge situation, Bradley Chubb will be helped. God willing, will be healthy week 1. Missed the entirety of last season, but hopefully he's fine to go. Jalen Phillips will push himself to be fine for week 1, but also I don't think there's anything wrong with having rotation on the edge. And also, it's like you said, Jalen Phillips and friend of the podcast, Bradley Chubb, might not be here next year. If you can have Josiah Stewart, I'm not saying stash him for the year, but ease him in, which is something we weren't able to do with Chop Robinson. I don't think it's the end of the world. However, going offensive lineman here again. We spoke about Liam Eichenberg. That's a dead situation at this point. James Daniels is also coming off an injury. If you can pick up day 1 starters, you can legit start day 1, potentially ease James Daniel into the team as the season progresses. But also, like you said, it's if you can hit on 3 offensive linemen this year, which is not impossible, just highly improbable, then you're good to go. And you might have a situation where, again, it's not ideal, but if you have to move pieces around so that week 1 you have the best 5 guys on the field and they've been able to find some cohesion throughout the off season, there's nothing wrong with that. We say it all the time. Don't let a good player stop you from drafting a great player. And if Gray's able, Marcus Bowe, and another offensive lineman take the spot of anyone on that offensive line, it means the Dolphins have improved. And I have zero issue with that. And I'm sure fans won't either.
It's a mock, and there's no way to be right until next year or 2 years from now. We bring back this mock. But hey, remember that mock where we said we should have went 3 O linemen within our first 6 picks? I think this is the mock that we can look back and say, Kadeem, we went 3 O linemen in our first 6 picks, and then let's compare it to where we are in 2027 and see what we took. My pick here would be Ozzie Trapillo. He's a right tackle, the same size as Patrick Paul. Not only will you have 2 good O linemen, it's like they're like beasts of a man. Like they're like Nephilims. Like, bro, you're not supposed to be this big. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to anyone who caught that. But yeah, man, I like Ozzie Trapillo here. And now not only that, Kadeem, we don't have to worry about O-line for the rest of the draft. And now we could get every other position we need. And one of the 2 linebackers that I like will be available at 116. I guarantee it. And if they're not, we didn't have to reach for them. We got our future right tackle. Because then you don't have to pay Austin Jackson either. You don't have to pay him forever so he retires in Miami. He can also replace Austin Jackson.
Ozzie Trapillo, you are a Miami Dolphin. I think this is going to be a B- or a C+ grade.
I think this is an A.
And it was an A. Fair play. So we are on the board. We just entered pick 106. We are pick 116, I think it is. And what's interesting, I didn't want to jinx it, but Josiah Stewart is still there. He's the 87th ranked guy on this big board. The Dolphins are picking 116, and we spoke about him at pick 98. But you said there were linebackers who are going to be here at pick 116. Who are those linebackers?
Danny Stutzman. He's the Oklahoma linebacker. And linebacker from Oregon. I can't remember his name. I think it's
Jeffrey Bassa.
Jeffrey Bassa, my dog. And they both right there. Look at this. They both right there. So shout out to Danny Stutzman with the pregame speech of all pregame speeches in Oklahoma, where he says, I got 2 things to say. Oklahoma only fears God, and Texas fears Oklahoma. Y'all gotta see that on YouTube. Danny Stutzman is literally the Latimer from The Program. If y'all ever seen the football movie The Program, he is Latimer. If you caught that reference, you are as old as me. Shout out to you, and I'm pretty sure you appreciated it. And there's also Teddy Buchanan right there at 167 overall. We don't have to go linebacker right here. Here's the thing about these linebackers. Stutzman, Bassa, and Buchanan. And what's the linebacker for the Dolphins that I don't like, Kadeem? Number 11? Yeah, we just re-signed him for this year.
Tyrod Dodson.
Bro, all 3 of these will start over Dotson. Every single one of them will start over Dotson. But that doesn't mean we should take them just because they start over Dotson. We still have to build the roster accordingly. And Josiah Stewart, being a backup and a rotational player to Bradley Chubb, friend of the podcast, Jalen Phillips, and Chop Robinson, might be the smartest thing to do, because one of these 3 linebackers should fall to you, or could, maybe not should, but they could fall to you at 125, and I'm okay with that. And don't forget, we do have the option of moving up if we wanted to from 125 to just make sure we end up with one of these boys. I don't think we have to move up from 125. We're at 116 right now. I don't think we have to move up to land one of them. And there's a chance, because we secured O-line already, Kadeem, we could probably take 2 of these boys. We could probably take 2 of those linebackers if we wanted. One of them will start for the Miami Dolphins. We don't have to take them. I say we could go with your first thought, which was Josiah Stewart. But if you opt to go linebacker here, I will not hate it. Josiah Stewart would be an A+ pick, by the way.
Yeah. A comment I just saw as well. If There's so according to this big board, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 linemen, and we mentioned 3 of them. If 6 linemen go, sorry, 6 linebackers go in 9 picks, that is absolutely insane. There's nothing you can do about that, and that's not even mentioning the guys who aren't on the screen right now.
Scroll up a little bit.
Scroll up.
Yeah. No, up. So I think you highlighted linebacker though.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I was just going to say as well, Cap says the trenches are solidified. Do we go nose tackle?
So we went nose tackle with Tyreek Williams in the second pick. And that's why I'm like, yo, we got D-line right now. The person starting right next to Zach Sealer. O-line is super secure. Kadeem, you don't want to start too many young O-linemen in a position that's really important. You want to mix it up with vets and young talent. But this is the future O-line right here. Marcus Bowe, Ozzie Trapilo, and Gray Zabel. It's not going to happen in real life. We're not going to be able to get those plays in real life. And if we do, the Dolphins will not do it. And then we have to sit and watch someone else do it. And I could be like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's on you, Kadeem. You want to go Josiah Stewart, rotational DN, or you want to go with one of these linebackers?
I'd be tempted to go Josiah Stewart. Cliff says trade up for Cam Ward. And then before we take a player, Cap says, do we need a center? I don't think. Okay, so yes or no. I don't think we do because we do have. And this guy name escapes me every single time.
Aaron Brewer. And we say his name on the podcast and then we forget him later on.
And it's not because he's a bad player. He was like, I don't think he really put a foot wrong last season. If anything, I feel like he, exceeded expectations.
He was one of the best new additions to the team.
100%. Gray Zabel can play center.
Yeah.
That's not to say that if dude's name from is Ohio State, who won the I think he's I'm watching a bit of his tape. I think he's the guy who, if he's there, I'm taking him. Like he's again, it's playing guard. I don't care. It's you kind of just get good football players. But I don't think in this mock draft we would need a center. I think even if you have Aaron Brewer as your starter, Gray Zabel as your backup, Liam Eichenberg is, maybe
third emergency break glass in case of emergency. Hey, do y'all things say that over there in the UK? The fire extinguisher or fire alarm? They say break in case of emergency.
99.9% sure it does. But I was just gonna say, if the Dolphins take Gray Zabel, have Aaron Brewer, and both go down during the season, and you have to start Liam Eichenberg, that's one of those things where, in that way possible, you can't legislate for that. Your center and your backup center get injured. No team, in my opinion, can get down to their third string guy and expect to still have quality there. I don't think that's possible in the cap era in the NFL.
So shout out to Cap for Life for the comment. Here's the thing. Gray Zabel is already a better center than Aaron Brewer. That's true. So Aaron Brewer is our starter, and we're happy with Aaron Brewer being our starting center. Gray Zabel will replace Aaron Brewer when we don't have to pay for him no more. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we luck up and add Seth McLaughlin later in the draft because we have quality everywhere, then Seth McLaughlin would be the starting center who doesn't have to play the whole year coming off of his own Achilles injury. So we don't even have to play Seth McLaughlin. And then Gray Zabel will be a surefire starting guard next to Seth McLaughlin. Or if one of them boys get hurt, you go interchange them. So we won't need center. If this happened right here, we won't need another center. But it's hard to pass up on Seth McLaughlin. It's on you, Kadeem. What you want to do here?
Yeah, I would go Josiah Stewart. Shout out to 5 Yard Lee. We were speaking just before we went live on the podcast, and he spoke about Will Johnson from Michigan. And he said, don't know why I completely forgot Ross being such a Michigan guy. The corner from there will be the pick. Suits Chris Greer. The owner will be happy. Team needs one. I think Josiah Stewart, being from Michigan, Ross loves Michigan. But like we said earlier, if it allows you to move on from Fender Podcast, Bradley Chubb, and Jalen Phillips. You don't have to pay him. You have, as long as the development goes well, you can bring in Josiah Stewart at his own pace, but also the rotation can be there this year. And like I said, Top Robinson, we over relied on him last year due to injuries. Josiah Stewart, take him at pick 116. You're not expecting him to start and make a massive impact, but I feel like you can put him in certain situations and get the best out of him in his rookie season.
This would mean you won't have to bring back front of the podcast Emmanuel Ogba either. He's still a free agent. We don't have to pay money to bring somebody like that back when you got a young Josiah Stewart here. This is gonna be a really good grade. I said A+. I don't know how I feel about A+ now, but this would be a really good grade.
A+. You are correct.
Thank you, sir.
Let's have a look. I've seen one linebacker go, and we have trades. And the first trade seemed interesting. So for pick 125, the Eagles are offering 134, 164, and a 5th rounder next year. The Vikings are offering a 4th and 5th next year, nothing this year. And then the Rams are offering pick 127, pick 195, and a 5th and 6th rounder next year.
So I want to bring something to everyone's attention. We can accept trades, we could trade, decline trades, all the good stuff. IRL, you probably won't have over. This is going to be a lot. 12 draft picks is a lot because you have to pay all of that. You have to pay your draft class. So a lot of teams trade up. They package trades and they'll trade up so they have no more than 10 draft picks, and even 10 is a lot. And then now you trade it up and you can pay your entire draft class. This is fantasy world for us. In real life, this is a good trade. Moving back 2 spots, getting a 6th round pick this year, a 6th round pick next year, and a 5th round pick next year. But if you go to the Eagles, Kadeem, this is going to be a real question for us because I'm pretty sure one or 2 of the 3 of our linebackers are waiting for us right now for us to pick them up. But if we move back 10 spots to get a 5th round pick this year and a 5th round pick next year, there's a chance we miss out on all 3 linebackers that we wanted. Are you willing to take that chance?
So in terms of linebackers,
all 3 are there.
Could 3 linebackers go in essentially 10 picks? 100%, of course they can. Do I think they will looking at this board? No. I don't think that 3 linebackers go. I don't think 1 linebacker goes according to this big board and the next 10 picks. So
all right, hey, hold on. So what do they want to give us? 137? What was it? Offers. Go to offers. Yeah.
134.
And we have go back to our picks. They want to give us 134. Scroll down. But we already have 135. You know what I'm saying? So they want 125, and we will take 134. But we also own 135. So we'd be picking 135 and 134. And here are some names that I gotta bring up now that we're getting to that area. I told you there are 4 safeties that I absolutely would not mind having on my team because there's a chance we strike gold with them. And we're getting to those names now. One of them is Lathan Ransom. He's from Ohio State. Billy Bowman is from Oklahoma. Jalen Reed is from Penn State. And Craig Woodson is from Cal. Craig Woodson on this mock draft simulator is later than I think he's going to go. I think he's going to go first 3 rounds, but they got him projected going like the 6th round here. Malachi Moore is the most interesting safety on this draft, and I'll tell you why. If we have to get to him, I don't want to waste too much more time than what we already have. What do you want to do here, Kadeem? Do you want to take one of our linebackers, or do you want to trade back and get a extra 5th round pick and a 5th round pick of next year? I think that's the right thing to do.
What, trade back?
Trade back, get a 5th round pick this year and a 5th round pick next year. For moving
I was
back
just looking. And I'm tempted to move back 2 spots, and I will tell you why. We have nothing between pick 155 and 224. Moving back 2 spots and picking up something in, I think it's 194. Yeah, so 195. Again, like you just said, you don't need pick 195 if we're being brutally honest. I sometimes get a bit anxious, like we're not picking for like what 70 picks. You can obviously move around if you think actually there's someone here who we need to go and get. So for me, the moving back 2 spots and picking up something in a area where we don't really have anything would be my inclination. But like you said, in real life, and also just the chance of you striking gold at 194. And when I mean striking gold, it could be something as simple as finding someone who contributes not just this season at any point in the NFL for the Miami Dolphins. It's slim.
So Devon Gotcha was a 5th round pick. That's what you hope to find. Well, you hope to find a 1st round and 5th round, right? Let's be clear. But Devon Gotcha contributed as a Miami Dolphin, being a 5th round pick, and had a pretty good career as a football player as a 5th round pick. Friend of the podcast, and literally he's like family to me. William Hayes was a 4th round pick, had a great NFL career as a 4th round pick. We mentioned moving back 9 spots and moving back, acquiring a 5th and 2 5ths, you know what I'm saying, and moving back 9 spots. But we talking about real life. I think Lathan Ransom, the safety from Ohio State, would start for the Miami Dolphins this year if we drafted him. I think he would be a starter today. That means we wouldn't be able to trade anything. Like, forget the trades. We would have to take him here at 125 and then hope 10 spots from now we could get one of our linebackers. So I'm more on some, we lose the value of that trade, adding 2 5ths, but I think we get Lathan Ransom here at 125 and then also get one of our linebackers that could be there 10 spots later. With 3 linebackers on the board, we take a safety now, which we punted on, and then you add one of these linebackers. That's, in my opinion, going to start over Dotson anyway.
Another thing, I said, you might strike gold in around pick 194, which is what I was talking about. Last year, pick 184 in the 6th round, Dolphins took Malik Washington.
Gotta love it.
So hey,
I need you to put some respect on his name and my name and say Touche 24 Malik Washington.
You're right, Touche 24 Malik Washington. But yeah, and that's kind of where that anxious, but also you just never know where you can pick. But also, going safety here. Quick question from Cap. He says, "Do we need a quarterback in the 7th round?" We didn't take a quarterback in mock 1.0. Mock draft 1.0.
1 and 2. We want to take a quarterback every draft.
100%. And we spoke about it on Patreon about if the Dolphins finished the draft with all these picks and didn't take a quarterback, you'd be like, hey, how did you not? We're kind of not getting to a stage, but we've picked quite a few picks, haven't taken a quarterback. But 7th round, we aren't even there yet. Just something I thought I'd mention.
But here's the thing: we say we want to take a quarterback every draft, not to replace our quarterback, but because quarterback is the best currency in the NFL. Like, it's the most wanted currency in the NFL. So you want to take one. Hopefully you hit. And if you don't, you don't. But at the same time, you want to be smart about picking someone who's not going to see you hope doesn't see the field, who will be your 3rd emergency quarterback. We got to make a decision here, Kadeem. I would prefer to go to Lathan Ransom here. He's a safety from Ohio State at 125, and then take the best available linebacker at 135, who I think we might have 2 of them waiting for us. But what do you think?
I think you're right. I suggested going edge rusher last pick. We're a team here over in Go Time Dolphins in the Dolphins war room. So yeah, Lathan Ransom. I agree. Let's add to our safety room. And let's see who
B+
is the.
In my opinion,
I'm going to go A+. Fair play. We are picking just the 2 quarterbacks go. We have more trade offers. So for pick 135, we have from trading to Buffalo, pick 170, 177, and 206. The Eagles are offering pick 161, 164, and 165, and a 5th rounder for pick 135. And the Steelers are offering pick 156 for and a 6th rounder for 135. None of these entice me, although the Eagles pick would be very interesting and, to be honest, quite funny. And I'm worried now that the Eagles do have three picks in the 5th round because they draft pretty well, given that.
I literally said this 2 podcast episodes ago that the Eagles have 3 5th-round picks, and I will entertain trading my 4th round pick for 3 of their 5th round picks. And that's the same offer we just got. Not only did they give us 3 5ths, they gave us 4 5th round picks because one of them is 2026. In real life, if our draft goes the way it's going right now, it's hard for me not to take that. But there's somebody looking at us on the board right now I mentioned this in the first mock draft 101. We won't. We'll close this out real quick. Ashton Gelati is like a 3rd round pick in real life, and this is here we are. It's a simulator. We don't know if he's going to be here or not. But at the same time, it's like, yo, I said this in mock draft 101. I don't see how Chris Greer looks past Ashton Gelati, but we went Josiah Stewart earlier. This is just me saying there's a ton of depth in this draft. Let's scroll down. Let's see who's on the board. Bashal Tootin, 2 shades 24. Bashal Tootin is a running back. You could play him at kick return, punt return. Probably not going running back here. But Billy Bowman, one of those safeties that I like, is there, and we just took safety. So let's keep scrolling. Danny Stutzman and Jeffrey Bossa is there. Both of them are linebackers. Aeneas Peoples, 2 shades 24 is there. Seth McLaughlin is there, and Dylan Gabriel is there. So is Jalen Reed. This is just a ton of stuff to pick from. You have pick 135 now. Then you have 15 picks later, 150. And then you have 5 picks after that, 155. There is a good chance out of all the players that I just named, we get 3 of those in the next 15 picks. Kadeem, we're going to have a field day here. This is the best draft we've ever had on Go Time Dolphins in years.
So what's the play at pick 135?
So I don't think we take any more trades right now, if I'm being honest. Like, yeah, we could add 3 5s, but we're running long on time. We're an hour and 16 minutes into the episode. You probably take 2 of the players that I just mentioned and then add 3 5s, but can we realistically pay for all those with our cap situation? Maybe, but you know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, we traded Tyreek Hill. Don't forget that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm ecstatic how good this draft went for us. If for sake of time, I think we could just start drafting where we are. 135, we got linebackers. We got Seth McLaughlin, who's going to be the future starting center for the Miami Dolphins. We have Dylan Gabriel, who's going to back up Tua. I don't know if you love Dylan Gabriel, like, yo, we got Zach Wilson. We don't need to spend a pick on Dylan Gabriel. I don't know how you feel about that. So there's a lot of things we could do here, Kadeem. What you want to do?
I say we go linebacker. We haven't added a linebacker. We mentioned taking them quite a while ago. I'll jinx it now. To me, best case scenario for our next 3 picks, you go Danny Stutzman, Dylan Gabriel, and Seth McLaughlin. Those, like, you get those 3 from the next 3 picks. I think and again, in a best case scenario where you hit most of your picks, I'd be quite happy with those next 3 picks. But for now, yeah, I would go Danny Stutzman, linebacker from Oklahoma.
I say Jeffrey Bossa because he's better than Danny Stutzman. And you said Stutzman, Dylan Gabriel, Seth McLaughlin. I would say Bossa, Seth McLaughlin, Dylan Gabriel. We can go Stutzman though. Let's go Stutzman and see what happens next.
Hold on, wait. I have a coin. I'll say you flip for it.
I think that's what the Jets do in real life. The paper planes, that's how they pick their players.
So Cliff D says QB in the 7th round. Why bother? Because Brock Purdy starts, and you never know when you can draft a quarterback. Like
That's it.
that's
it.
I'm not even gonna.
Let's keep it moving, Kadeem.
Right, heads or tails, Charlie?
Heads.
The Queen. Heads it is.
Jeffrey Bossum, welcome to the Miami Dolphins.
Jeffrey,
24.
And it is an A. The draft is moving, but I'm not moving my screen. But I should, so I can know when we're back on the board. We are Dylan Gabriel just went, so don't mess up. Don't mess up. Dylan Gabriel is a Carolina Panther. But the Dolphins on the board have Billy Bowman, and if I'm correct, Dennis Duesman is still there. Seth McLaughlin's still there. Jalen Reed is still there. I think it was Cap mentioned Damian Martinez from you. He's on
Damian
the board.
Martinez is a big body running back that the Dolphins need right now. He's on the board. And one of my favorite linemen, which we don't have to go for anymore, a Johnny Cornelius. In real life, I need this dude. Left tackle and right tackle. I don't see how you don't use that. Like, yo, someone gets hurt, you can plug left tackle, right. Like, he's the best artillery lineman, and I think he's going to start in real life. But we don't have to go Johnny Cornelius here. We don't have to entertain it. I think me and you both agreed on Seth McLaughlin, especially if Dylan Gabriel wasn't there. So we could take Seth McLaughlin here unless you think it's someone else.
Yeah, 4 offensive linemen. Seth McLaughlin is what I would say the Andrew Voorhees of this year's draft, where you take him, you stash him, and then when he starts, everyone's like, how did he fall so far? And it's like, if you listen to Go Time Dolphins, you will know. And everyone will know. So
Seth McLaughlin, Remington Award winner, Seth McLaughlin, best center in the college football last year.
So he is a Miami Dolphin, and I'm pretty sure we're back on the board. Yep.
So for anyone who doesn't know how we got Seth McLaughlin in the 5th round, he tore his Achilles in college football playoff, and he's sliding out, and that's how we were able to pick him up. Best center in the draft. And if you look, we got Gray Zabel and Andrew Brewer. We don't even have to play him this year, the entire season. Just go get healthy. Red shirt the whole year.
2 trade offers. The Chargers. So yeah, the Chargers want to give us back the 7th round we sent in the Tyreek Hill trade, and to move back 3 spots with 2 picks next year. And Dallas are offering pick 171, 239, and a 6th rounder next year for pick 155.
I'm good with just staying here taking 155.
Cool. What is the pick at 155, Charlie?
So
bearing in mind we don't pick again until pick 224.
Right. 2 7-round picks. So I think Stutzman would start over Dotson, but we got Jeffrey Bossa. So we don't need Stutzman and Bossa. We could take them both for depth. And then, I neglect linebacker all the time. Aeneas Peoples, Touche's 24 this year, is quality D-line depth. So now you got Tyreek Williams, Aeneas Peoples, and Zach Sealer. You'd love to have that. Jaylen Reed is one of those 4 safeties that I was like, yo, I don't mind them being on my team, but we got Lathan Ransom. If you double down and double dip the chip and add 2 safeties, which I believe you need 2 safeties because I don't think the safeties we have are starters, but I think the Dolphins go Justin Simmons after the draft. I think they're gonna pick up Justin Simmons in free agency after the draft. Extremely difficult to do if you trade Tyreek Hill. So for the sake of keeping it like as real as possible, I don't think we're going to be able to add Justin Simmons. So we might want to take a safety here to add 2 safeties. But I do want to see the corner on the board. If we could get this corner, what's dog name? He's from Oregon too. I forgot both of these Oregon boys' names.
Jabbar
Muhammad. I think he's the pick right now. He's a corner. Jabbar Muhammad. He fits. He passes all the eye tests that you want to pass. He is a corner's corner. I don't mind if he plays on the island. We need an island corner. If we traded Tyreek Hill, we probably can't get Stephon Gilmore. We're going to need a corner, or a Storm Duck is going to start for the Miami Dolphins. We add corner depth and Jabbar Muhammad. That would be my pick right here at 155.
Yeah, I have no issue with that. Again, we haven't taken a corner so far this draft. There's other players. Some people would say you're kind of drafting for need at this point, but at pick 155, drafting for need isn't really the end of the world, is it? Because it's pick 155. So
Yeah, and we're leaving stuff on the table. Peebles is a better pick than Jabbar Muhammad right now, but we got Tyreek Williams. It's just hard for me to neglect corner when you know you're gonna need it.
yeah. So Jabbar Muhammad, you are a Miami Dolphin, and then we are on the board for quite a while. So let's have a look. If any names who we just mentioned go, as always, like I said, definitely for mock drafts, it's better to watch on YouTube. So you can kind of see. Stutzman just went to the Cowboys.
Trevor
Peebles
Etienne went in the 6th round. Peebles went in the 6th round.
just to Dallas as well. Martinez went to Jacksonville. So fair play to him in this mock draft. We aren't on the board for a while still. Trying to think any other names who we've spoke. Cornelius is a Ram.
Second mock draft in a row where a Johnny Cornelius went either in the 6th round or 7th round, and there is no way on God's green earth that he gets picked in the 6th round or 7th round in real life. He's gonna go higher than that. And if he does not go higher than that, he will be Trey Smith of 2025. Trey Smith, Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion, 2 Saves 24. If a Johnny Cornelius goes in 6th or 7th round in real life, he's gonna be all pro.
So pick 224. Where and what are you thinking?
I would say let's see if Craig Woodson is on the board. I don't believe he'll be here in the 7th round. He's a safety. We didn't go. There he is sitting right there. So I will go Craig Woodson. Go to running back. I want to see if Taj Boyd, I think his name is. No, he's not there. He's not there. Nah. So I will go Craig Woodson here. I think they got Q Robinson is Jake. All right. So Jake. All right, we can't right now. I can't do all that. There's a lot of people around there, Gaston Jr. There's a lot of Dante Trader. There's a lot of people here right now that I can't do. My pick right here would be Craig Woodson. So we could look back to this next year and say we got Craig Woodson in his mock, but in real life, Craig Woodson's going to be a 3rd, 4th round pick.
So, Craig Woodson, you are a Miami Dolphin, and with our last 2 picks are being C pluses, by the way, quite interesting. And in pick 231, final pick of our draft. Last time we took a Randy Gadsden, just because he's on the board again. Any positions you want to try and grab? Maybe a quarterback. Nothing really stands out to me.
Just if we all right. So we want to go through the grades real quick. I'll tell you before where I would pick if we go through the grades. Just a draft recap before we take this last pick, Kadeem, if you can.
Oh, me, sorry.
Yeah. Can you go through our draft recap? Everybody who we got in their grades before we take this last pick.
So pick 16, we went Tyler Warren, tight end from Penn State.
My fault. For anyone who caught on late, we traded Tyreek Hill to the Chargers for the 22nd pick overall, the 78th pick overall, and next year's 3rd round pick. We traded Tyreek Hill.
So Tyler Warren, an A tight end from Penn State. Gray Zabel, interior offensive lineman from North Dakota State, got a B plus, pick 22. Tyreek Williams got us an A, defensive lineman from Ohio State. Marcus Bowe got us a B plus, lineman from Purdue. Ozzy Tropilo, the monster tackle from Boston College, got us an A. Josiah Stewart, the edge from Michigan, got us an A plus. Lathan Ransom, the safety, Ohio State, got us an A plus. That's a pick 125. Jeffrey Bassard, the linebacker from Oregon, got us an A, pick 135. Seth McLaughlin, B plus, center from Ohio State, pick 150. I think every single mock draft he'll be taken in Miami simply because we love him that much. And then our last 2 picks, pick 155 and pick 224, both got C pluses. Jabbar Muhammad, the cornerback from Oregon, and Craig Woodson, the safety from California.
My pick, the last pick of the draft, will be Jake Major. Jake Major. He's an interior offensive lineman. Right there. Jake Majors. He is the runner-up for the Remington Award. So Seth McLaughlin won the Remington Award as the best center in college football. Jake Majors was the runner-up for the award. And the fact that we can get him in the 7th round tells me we're going to cut Liam Eichenberg. And I want to be clear. That doesn't mean Jake Majors is a starter just because he was second best center for runner-up for the Remington Award. But I like having something to build on, and that's something pretty good to build on.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with that pick as well, it's... Hold on, sorry. You said who, sorry?
Jake Majors.
So I was just looking at the website, and they've got a Jacob Gideon.
For what?
The Remington Trophy finalists.
There go my alarm for work. Gideon, not Majors?
They've got Jacob Gideon, yeah.
I still like Jake Majors, though. I have to get back to my notes and see where we went off a little bit, but I have to take Jake Majors here.
No worries. We'll take Jake Majors, Longhorn replacing Brandon Jones to a different position, and that got us a C+. So it didn't finish, according to this website, as strongly as we did last year as we go through the last few picks of the draft. You did hear Charlie's alarm. Do you want to head straight into bonus time then and talk about this after?
Yeah, let's do that.
Cool. I will close it down for now. Charlie gets in the bonus time.
Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
So, looking at our... That's the wrong thing. I'm having an absolute meh here. Sorry, apologies. Looking at our mock draft. Save it. Let's save it. You can see the trades we made if you are watching on YouTube. Charlie mentioned it before. We basically traded Tyreek Hill to the Chargers, for pick 22 and pick 125, send a pick 253 in return. And then we traded back from pick 13 and picked up pick 16, 78, and then a 1st, 4th, and 5th next year. And then we selected quite a few players. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 players in this mock draft.
In real life, I think the Dolphins trade up so they don't have to take 12 players for cap purposes. Maybe they end up around 10, which 10 is even a lot. So I think they will trade up and get rid of some of those picks. But I also will tell you, I don't think the Dolphins will invest in the O-line the way we invested in the O-line, bro. Like, Trapillo would be your starting right tackle. Marcus Bowe would be your starting right guard. Next year, Steph McLaughlin is going to start over Brewer. Like, bro, there's no way we end up. This is what I want the Dolphins to do. It's like, save us right here with this. But I got to be honest with you. Our offense takes a step back. The trenches have been helped, but you don't have Tyreek Hill no more. So now it's on Tua. Tua, you're going to have time now. You're going to have to find everybody appropriately.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, if you have time, you can find people. The defensive backs can't cover the entire time. The run game should improve as well. Tua should stay upright, which is the best way to keep him healthy. But yeah, I mentioned this last week, and it's not even to be negative, but just being quite realistic. You can pick 10 players. More rolls of the dice doesn't mean you're going to nail every single pick. That's just not the way it works. It's always a case of best case scenario with the right settings, the right, staying healthy, all that kind of stuff. These are the kind of guys who we believe, if everything goes right, will start. There'll be guys that there's like, it's a guaranteed starter in the 7th round. That's an absolute myth. No offense to lying to you. But it is what it is. Shout out to everyone in the comments as well. Rob Ashton said, you're both more concerned with the O-line than we are, but like the Tyreek Hill trade. You're on mute.
I don't know if that was trolling, trying to be like Chris Greer. Y'all are more concerned about the whole line. But yeah, bro, like, listen, bro, I cannot wait till the draft is over and we go back to our mocks and see what happened and compare them to the real life draft. And then we could be like, oh, look at this team did what we did, basically, which basically the Steelers did last year. Steelers took every O-lineman I wanted, every single one. And shout out to the Steelers. But yeah, man. So I really can't wait for this draft. Mock draft Mondays. Got another one coming up next Monday, Kadeem.
Yes, we do. Before we go, shout out to Kendall Lam, who has signed a 1-year deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. All the best out there. Rob was confirming it is a Chris Greer quote. And yeah, let us know what you think in the comments about the mock draft. What would you have done differently? What do you think of the guys we took? FA says it's a month left to the draft. I cannot wait. I'll say this now. I might not be here for the first night of the draft. Need to work some things out in my personal life. But I'll be here for every single mock Monday until then. And FA liked it better than the one we did last week, which is we're improving. And last week was a great mock draft as well.
I gotta be honest with you. I like this one better than last week just because I believe this O-line would be. I think this is unrealistic. I don't think we're going to be able to get these players from the O-line for our Dolphins. I just don't believe it that they'll be there. And 2, I don't believe the Dolphins will invest like that. I think the Dolphins be like, oh, we need to draft one linebacker, we need to draft one safety, we need to draft one receiver, we need to draft one D tackle. Like, bruh, I need value. I don't care about if we got to punt on safety and have the worst safeties in the league. We made our bed. We got to sleep in it. I'm not just drafting a safety just to draft a safety because we need it, bro. I want to take the best players out there.
I agree. Anything else before we go, Charlie?
That's it.
Then until the next time, we shall see you soon. Peace.